strobe type. The controller recognizes the switch on-off status depending on the voltage detected when the switch turns on. Now, click on each item to find out more details. Next, we are going to learn about sensor signal control. Controllers on the vehicle use different kinds of sensors to detect speed, temperature, and pressure that are required for control. The controller detects sensor signal in two different ways, depending on the circuit connection. In the first method, the controller uses a common line for both power supply and signal input. On the actual vehicle, a thermistor that measures temperature and a Hall sensor that measures location use this method. In this case, the sensor is generally composed of two pins. They are connected to the power line and ground line, respectively. The controller supplies 5 volts or 12 volts to the sensors, and this voltage changes depending on the sensor's operating principle. The controller detects the changed value and uses it as a basic signal for control. The brain in our body transfers commands to each of the motor nerves based on the information acquired through sensory organs. The controller, which is the brain of a vehicle, also receives switch operation status and various sensor information and sends out the operation command for each load. Process that is carried out by the controller to operate the load is called output signal control. The controller controls the output in 5 different ways to operate the load. Click on each item to see the details. A power control is the basic output control method, where the load is connected to the ground. When the input signals satisfy the control conditions, the controller supplies power to the base terminal of the transistor to operate the transistor. Then, the power that was standing by in the collector of the transistor flows to the ground and operates the load. A ground control method uses a transistor to connect the load to the ground inside the controller. The load is connected to a 12-volt power. Under the load operation conditions, The controller supplies power to the base terminal of the transistor and operates the transistor. At this time, 12-volt power flows to the ground inside the controller through the emitter terminal of the transistor and operates the load.